Hi guys, welcome to a video. Happy Saturday, but it's probably not Saturday when you're watching this, sadly. But it is actually Saturday, so I'm out of breath. Saturday duties. Everybody has Saturday duties. Well, if you don't, anyway, I'm autistic. I have duties, set duties on each day of the week. I know. Anyway, I told you the good news. So I thought, like, this is only just the next morning, but I thought that I would just have a more in-depth discussion about it and also just say hi because, like, I missed you guys. Like, I have been so distracted with this nightmare and with stresses, and we had our own meeting here with everyone, and also I've just been supporting others, like they've been kind to me as well, other people, you know, here. And so it's been a great community bond, at least out of a negative situation, but a negative situation shouldn't have happened. Anyway, and I wanted to talk more about that at the beginning, like I said. So, yes, I've had, like, you've seen me at the beach, have a good cry, but I'm okay. Like, don't worry about it. You guys know that. You know how resilient I am. I grew up at a very young age before I was an adult before I was an adult. And that's okay. It's just made me a better, stronger person who's very resilient. X generation as well. We're so resilient. I mean, we didn't just get smacks. We used to get beat, you know, if we were doing the wrong thing. So it's very different now, isn't it? Like, with this positive behavioral approach. Stupid. Be careful. I'm telling you now, parents, I'm a softie as a mum. Now, my kids are fine, but they have a lot of confidence that I never had at their age automatically. I had to build it because there was a total different upbringing. And there's like, it's not black and white too. There's good parts about the X generation raisings and there's bad parts. And then in the, like, millennials say raisings, there's good and bad parts. You can't really say, like, anyone has the magic formula right now, or are we ever? Okay, and every person is different, right? Personalities, born traits, nurtured traits come into it, to the influences around us. So anyway, but I wanted to talk about what happened with this situation. So the company that got charged as one of the largest in Australia situations that they had done, it was actually neglect to patients and abuse to patients. And their carers. And some of these carers, guys, salt of the earth, okay? Sorry. I'm not going to cry. Basically, they're being dealt with. They've been fined. And I'm sure there's further investigations going into it. And that's fantastic. It's fantastic. And I'm glad that I've saved a child, because as much as the behaviours were difficult, I'm not going to say that I didn't find it hard. I know my mum would have found me hard as a child with autism, right? But this behavioural approach is pathetic. And then on top of that, what ends up happening is they create a worse monster than any other generations ever had. On top of that, just things that I know about. I'm not going to be specific, but it's just over-drugging children, things like that. It's just not care. It's not care. It's not... When you raise children, even if you are a guardian, like a carer, okay, my uncle used to work in foster care. We had many long chats. I ended up in social welfare, so I've taken after him. families have that, right? My brother's an engineer. My grandfather was a mechanical engineer too. So this happens in families, right? You practice what you see, that nurtured thing, right? Maybe it's that nurtured thing combined with your born traits. Because my pa and I, and my Uncle Ray and I were very similar, except for Pa had the more of his era. You know, you got to do the guy job, the man job, you know, because that's the era. What is your problem? He's just carrying on because he wants the water from the shower because they're showering and like he wants to play with the water, and the chickens, the three budgies, doing great, bonded well. They're all happy, attacking the toys, having fun, party every night actually, and it's really cute. And so I feel relieved they've gone as well, and I hope that more people are removed from them. And it's funny because I had to sit in a meeting yesterday and everything went great. He's got the zoomies. Go for it, baby. Go for it. Go through your tunnel. It's because I've opened his tunnel up the long way. It sets him off every time. He's like, vroom, vroom. It's awesome. Go get your snakey. Go get your snakey. Ever since he was a kitten, he carries the snake, which is this knitted thing, long thing, and then he limps over it because he can't quite carry it. But anyway, he loves to bring it to us, even at 5 in the morning when we're sleeping. Okay? Not to Sir's side, my side. Anyway, so basically, it's been across me. Literally, it's been across me, right? He watches me sleep. He's creepy. He literally sits around me. And I wake up sometimes, I'm like, hi. And we cuddle. Anyway, it's weird. But he's the only child at the moment because he lost his sissy, like, last year. Oh, yeah, it was last year. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not over it. Anyway, basically, like I said, if you see something, always say something. Like, and if any of you parents are out there or carers who are caring for children or vulnerable people with the mindset of a child, you've got to be firm but loving. In psychology, I learned this, okay? I've seen it being practiced in my family. Firm but loving. Now, there were times in my childhood that my mum didn't cope, but being a single mum, it's total difference. You don't get a break. There's no parent to back you up. There's no support. You're under more stress financially. You know the deal, right? So to all you single mums, okay? I salute you because it doesn't matter whether you didn't cope or did cope, you're saluted because it's tough. But basically the best advice I can give as a 50-year-old, raise my own kids, I feel like I overcompensated and I was too soft. And sometimes that's not love, guys. Sometimes that's failing them. Sometimes you have to actually deal with your own pain. And I know that's actually hard for people who I chose to be a young mum. I chose to have children young. And, you know, everything was planned, marriage, children, it was all planned, right? That was my choice. Now, we can also say that it's not if you look at eras, because I was just told that's what you're going to do. You don't need education. However, it actually luckily turned out to be true. I just think that's the best. I've had a lot of good jobs, but that was the best job in the world for me. So it was the right decision for me. But I can just give you this advice. Don't overcompensate. Your pain, they don't know. They don't know the pain you went through. Like as adults, maybe you should tell them. I actually think that's important. I wish my mum did. I think through boarding school and all the things she went through, I wish she told me more. So I could be empathetic to when I'm an adult, to her as an adult. And autistics need very clear, like, just, well, this is what it was like. Because there has to be respect to that. Different eras, there was different, like, stresses. I mean, I tell the youngins now, like when I had my first full-time job, that I was not allowed to wear pants. I had to wear a dress. No option, no ifs or buts. Same with school. Okay? I'm 50. Think about that, ladies, for a minute if you're younger than me. If any of you out there, think about it. No choice. No, there's no choice. Okay? And if your skirt's too short, you were scolded. Okay? So think about that. Now, I'm not saying that modesty isn't a thing. I kind of, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the most modest person ever, am I? But at the same time, being a tomboy, it's hard. But I do have the modest respect. I do actually like it. I agree with it. I do prefer it myself. I don't like to, I prefer modesty. And I would love fashion to come out in modest style. Like, have this modest style. Modest, be a name. Modest. I would love that because that's just me. Some people like that. And everyone gets a choice to how they dress. Never shame anyone how they dress. But everyone should have a choice. But I'm just saying there's no market for modest. Not for petites. It doesn't help being 22Q and being small. Failure to thrive. Anyway, yesterday I was stuttering too much. Don't know why, except for lack of oxygen, heart, brain, I don't know. So it was terrible. My support worker was great though with me yesterday with it because it was bad. And I even got to see my favourite Kmart lady. And I told her that when I went in there. I said, oh, I told my support worker how you are my, like, this is, like I said, like, this is my favourite person here. She almost cried. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, no, I like truly do, because we have these great conversations. Every time I go there, we bump into it, and we have these great conversations. She's kind of my age, right? And she was telling us about her birthday is like today. So it's like, oh, we were like, happy birthday. And she was, telling us her plans for her birthday. So guys, say also when you see negative things and you have to react sometimes, sadly, also positive. When you see someone and you, like, be genuine, don't be fake. Don't be like, I'm just going to go pay everyone compliments so that they're my best friend. That's manipulation. That's not cool. I'm talking about when you genuinely see something in someone and you go, oh, wow, like, you know, I want to compliment that. Compliment them. Don't just give people negative feedback in life. But at the same time, like I said, if you see something, say something. Look what happened. I was in a meeting yesterday being told that this company's amazing and wonderful and they like working with them and all the rest of it. I'm guessing they've got some hard things they're swallowing right now. Reading the news when they got home, probably. Awkward. It's going to be a bit awkward. Because it's difficult for me, and they know that because I'm a welfare worker. So I know the system. I know the rights and wrongs. I know job descriptions and what should and shouldn't be done. I've spoken to Family Children's Services, got hold of her case manager, thank goodness, and she was open as anything, which tells me everything. And I was just trying to be as helpful as I can for this child's sake. And I confronted the director when she was here the other night for the staff's benefit. She tried to assault her staff verbally, and I just stepped right in the middle. I seem to do this. I saw this lady being arrested one day at Dyan when I lived there, in front of Woolworths, in front of my son's girlfriend and my son, and I was like, oh dear, what am I doing? It was instinct. I just stepped in. I said, what's going on? These children are screaming their heads off and you're arresting their mother. What's going on? Can I help? Because she's in great distress. Anyway, she was squashed to the ground. They brought her back up. Anyway, we swapped details. That guy no longer has a job. That police officer lost his job. So guys, just if you feel a gut feeling, you women know this, if you feel a gut feeling that something's wrong, we're in a day and age now where we need to look out for each other. The good ones need to look out for each other. And that's all I did. I just wanted to be, and it didn't take much time out of my day. It didn't take much effort, really, to save someone. So, you know, I'm really happy that the resolution was good. And if you're under the NDIS, don't fret. There's more bad than good, but there is good. Keep looking, keep searching, keep interviewing. It's choice and control. The reason we have the systems we have with the NDIS is choice and control. You make your own decisions. And if you're in a different country, same thing. I hope that if you're in a system where you do have room to have your say, speak up. Don't be intimidated. Okay. Speak up for your needs, your rights. And if you can't, there's disability advocates, through your support workers, through, I know here we have like what we call a support coordinator. So it's like a person that's a higher level trained person that does a lot of the big stuff. So if you've got a big complaint or anything like that, and say you don't have family to call on, then that's what you can use. So just use everything that you have that they've given you, whatever country you're in. Because if I speak for just NDIS in Australia, which is a system that's not really the what I would call the best finely tuned, it's great. I'm not going to give it a 0, that's for sure, because I am cared for in a way that I need to be, that otherwise I'd be living in a van and my death would be so much sooner. So I'm not going to give it a 0, absolutely not. But what I will say is it's not perfect, and it can be dangerous, and you can get abused. I'm sorry. Fact. I'm just telling you now, adult, doesn't matter whether it's a child, adults too. Please also look out for adults as well, because connected to this, people was a non-verbal boy. So speak for adults that you know can't speak for themselves. If you see something, say something. So, but basically, in the NDS system, I know it's hard to find good staff, but keep looking until. And then when you do communicate like more and more to them about what they can do, what they want to do, what they're available to do, what is in their capacity to do, you know, because also it's a very interesting job, because it's like we have personal assistants, isn't it? You know, we have people that come in and do the things that we can't do, or be there for us, because none of us end up with friends, because except for our high school friends and, you know, uni friends and people that you make long sort of strong bonds with, yes, but of course they have their lives. I'm 50, my friends and all, they're working. I'm jealous, because I could be working right now in support work. But don't even get me started. So anyway, like my friends are working. So, you know, they can't sort of be where I'm at. They can't hang out the way that I'm available. So, and then my days are, you know, I can be too sick, or whereas like support workers, they're there for you through anything. So if you're really sick, they'll just do other jobs for you. So, and if you're well, they are your social support as well. So like yesterday, after the meeting stress, it's a 3-hour meeting, it was stressful. My support worker and I, we were like, I said to her, we're going to the park. She's like, yay. I'm like, yay. We went to the park, we had a great time. We took our neighbour and we went to Kmart, and the 3 of us had a good time, and I saw my favourite person, as I just told you, and it's her birthday today. Anyway, I keep seeing ones. Okay, and Sir just said he keeps seeing it, because I said it to him the other day, and he goes, oh, I keep seeing it too. I was going to say it now. And I'm like, yeah, right. What does it mean? Why are we seeing this? Is this to do with the legal? It better be, because my life depends on it, guys. Like, I'm not joking. What happens with all of this, my life, whether I get to live, depends on it. and how the quality is. So please pray for me or just manifest for me, whatever it is for you that you do. I will greatly appreciate it. Like, just send something into the ethos. And if any of you need me to pray for you or manifest for you, put it below and I will add it to my list. And when I go through what things I'm thinking for other people or myself or whatever, I'll add you to it. Okay? Cool. Because community, right? I want to offer that to you too. So if you want a prayer for something or a manifest for something, let me know below. But yeah, once to the point where it's just we're cracking up all the time. It's like, no, go to the shops even. No, it's insane. It's screaming at us. And we're both battling this legal thing. So it's seen as though it's to both of us. So what? Like what? But I'm relieved. Even though the last hurrah was a rock thrown at my door yesterday before they left. Yeah. So it's not taken personally. This child can do what she likes because she needs help. I'm not going to blame a child for that. She's a product of her environment. And anyway, I've had chats with her that hopefully I know in my life when people have said certain things to me at traumatic times or just times where they can see I need it, it is stuck like glue. You have your mum's voice, your dad's voice, your uncles and aunties' voices, your grandparents' voices. You have those things in you. Some people don't have that. So anyway, I planted some seeds. I planted some seeds in her head. I hope the one day when she grows up, because the biggest thing I said was, you can do better than this. You're a nice little girl. So always plant good seeds with the young'uns, okay? They've got to be told in a way that, and that doesn't mean you don't tell them off. Like, I also, I'm allowed because I'm not under that positive behavioural strategy shit, okay? So I was like, no, don't swear at adults. That's disrespectful. Don't do it. So you still do that, but at the same time, you can plant those other seeds. So basically, yeah, it was, even though they're just words, and that's another thing that someone else uses, that's just words, but to me, that's, could be a little aggravating. So anyway, children are children. We must remember that, okay? We really got to look after our future children, guys, because that's our future people, okay? And we've seen the high crime in children, and I know why. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to end up in a debate or anything, but we've got young'uns smothering, stealing, all sorts of terrible crimes that children never used to commit. So anyway, I wanted to share that. Never accept, in Australia this is with the NDIS, keep working out, if you see an agency doing things wrong financially, abuse-wise, whether it's verbal, physical, financial, all sorts of stuff, speak to the right people. And I don't have a straight answer for that because sometimes it could be quality and safeguards. Good luck. Sometimes it depends. Politicians, Senator Jordan Steele. Dude, let's pump it out. I gotta meet ya. Come meet me, brother. I'm serious. Come meet me. Why haven't I met you yet? Okay? You've been so kind. Your staff have been so kind. I need to meet you. Do you like chocolate? Because I'm not going to get you flowers. Unless you like flowers. I don't know. Anyway, chocolate? I might buy some chocolates. Make you some resin art for your desk. Is your desk big enough? Let me know. Anyway, you probably won't have time to let me know. But anyway, basically, do whatever you need to do. You can speak to your local member of parliament. You can go straight to the top, to Canberra, to whoever is, to the NDIA. You can go to Bill Shorten. Although, has he left yet or not yet? I don't know, actually. It's a good question. He might have left, but whoever's replaced him have sent in writing, everything in writing, paper trails like no tomorrow. Even they agree. They agree with that. Paper trail, everything. I promise you, it has got us so far with everything. Because when people go, because people lie these days, it's just like so natural for these people these days. I'm like, my mum said, if you lie, God's watching. And it worked because I don't lie, okay? These people, rolls off the tongue. Now, I'll lie if I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But you know what I mean. I don't lie. But basically, yeah, it rolls off the tongue. So have it in writing. Because when they do that, you know what you do? You send back that email and you go, but this. Because in the meeting yesterday, all these things I was told was happening, they're now saying, oh, there's something we can do about it. And I had to try and get them to point out that you promised it and you took it away again because I was pissed. I felt like it was making me look stupid. Because I was like, oh, yeah, no, they're putting in this and they're putting in that and putting in that. Now it's like down the track, like as in unknown down the track. And I'm like, no, you said you were organising it. So don't let people talk shit, okay? When it's to do, especially when it's to do professionalism, okay? I'm lucky with my support workers and the agency I'm under for that. Wonderful disability organisation. I mean, they're the ones that give us pancakes every Wednesday. Okay? How much cooler can you get than that? And we're unicorns. Did you know that? We are the unicorns. Screw you all. No one else is a unicorn. No, joking. But am I? I don't know. We're the unicorns. Okay? Of Australia. Oh my gosh. No. Chickens. What? Yeah? They want to be part of it. Says food shopping. It's Saturday. But basically, yeah, like there is good in the system. Make sure you have a good support coordinator, a strong one with a bit of okay, and they know their stuff. Like all the rules and regulations so that, you know, you don't want to get yourself into trouble. When you're asking advice from other people and you get given the wrong advice, you're responsible. So like an accountant situation, right? An accountant can do things for you, but if they're doing it wrong, you're responsible. So you have to be careful. So always make sure you have a good support coordinator that's keeping up to date, which I luckily have. So I advise you to do that. Make sure that you've got a good care team. There's many organisations that are good. And make sure you have places you can go to drop in and like we've got this pancake day thing and they have other things as well. So make sure that you look into that because it keeps you, even if like you're like me, you're like you can do without social, it's not as essential, but you sort of, you do want to do it sometimes but not too often because you get overwhelmed or whatever. Do it because it's networking. You get to find out what's going on, what other things are on offer in the local area. You do make bonds with other disability people. and with people who work in the system, who can also refer you to other places for other things or tell you about other things. It's good for that purpose, not just for social, basically. So I do recommend that, but just be careful, because sadly we still have a lot of dogs in the system. I'll call them that because I'm sorry. When people mess with vulnerable people, I get mad, as you guys know. So don't be stupid. Like, I kind of feel like I was at the beginning when I went on the NDIS 5 years ago, because we've been self-funded before that. And it's not easy because no one tells you this. But don't forget these two words, choice and control. And don't let them use it wrongly with you. Make sure they stand by that. Do you have choice? Are you having control? Like, are you having choice? Are you having control? That's what you need to make sure is act. Like, I'm talking not words. Okay, let's remember this thing, because I have learnt this again recently because I'm stupid, because my autism makes me forget social games. Talking is great. Actions is the real thing that should follow the talking. Talking's not wrong, but following by actions, if that doesn't happen, fail. And it's your choice whether you give them another chance or not, whether you give them 3 strikes or not, 2 strikes. It's your choice. Nothing's wrong or right about that. You can choose to disconnect immediately. You can choose to ask, hey, like I know with one service I just got rid of recently, I tried to have a conversation about my concerns of that because, you know, I had 2 issues with it. And that to me is enough to say, hang on a minute, I'm paying for this service out of my package, which takes from another area, which I can go and hire other people to do. So, what about this? And I didn't get the response that I felt covers me, that would keep me safe. So I've disengaged and have not re-engaged, but gone to the people that I already know and are doing extra services with them to cover that, if that makes sense. So a swap out type thing. So, you know, always be creative thinking with your planning about your needs being met, because for some of us with our conditions it is life and death, and you have to be sensible. You can't be stupid. You have to and I know it's hard. Like, I don't know if anyone is in my position, but when you're young and facing this kind of risk factor of dying, it is different to someone who is kind of prepared themselves, because when you're old, you know along the way of getting old that this could happen, right? I'm not saying it makes it easy. It's not easy for anyone facing it. I'm not diminishing the elderly dying factor, but I'm just saying it's not something we expect. And it's hard to get your head around as an adult who's middle-aged. I'm middle-aged, to get my head around, you know, what to do. And good jump, my little gymnast. 10. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Oh, don't be grumpy because Daddy's gone. Hey, where's your daddy gone? To get cat biscuits? Probably as well. Yeah? The birdie's being too noisy. He gets upset with me because the birds make noise. They do get noisy. That's cold. Let's be careful of electricity, shall we? Oh, waiting for mine. I get them monthly now. I don't know how to do monthly. I've been doing 2 monthly my whole life. Well, since I've been an adult, not my whole life. I've been paying bills since I was born. My mommy used to do that. But anyway, basically it's monthly, and it's like, I can't work that out. I know that's stupid, but I can't. And then, of course, I got the peak one for winter. It's like That's the highest one. But I guess that makes it easy because if I overestimate, worst case scenario, look, we don't drink and smoke. We don't have expenses. Yeah, I'm so grateful that I'm not a proper adult. I shouldn't say that because, you know, drinking and smoking, all that isn't really good. I mean, drinking's not totally 100% bad. I mean, gosh, I'm just saying, like, people that drink, like, regularly, it's expensive, right? You guys that drink, it's expensive. Just like they're doing for the smokers. It's very, very expensive. And times are tough, right? But yeah, just trying to get my head around monthly is just like, it's doing my head in. And then trying to work out when they send it, because living in apartments, it's a different way of getting your bill. I'm not even going to go into that because it's just, that would be a separate conversation. But yeah, my biggest point here is like, even though, okay, so you want to go under, you can go under, but that's just being silly. Even though I feel like, look, these guys totally love us a lot. They want us to be here. They're so dedicated to us, and I do appreciate that. I do sincerely, for everything they've done for me. But I know they're disappointed in kind of us getting involved. But like most of us have said, it's like, how can you not? I mean, first time the two worst scenarios happened, the first time we were just already out there socializing. Like literally nearly 10 of us. The second time, the staff member was banging on the door asking, call the police, call the police, call the police. I'm not going to ignore that. Don't care who you are. Okay, mate? I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to ignore a human being in distress. You might be cold. I'm not. And it's not about being, and this is the thing, you know, oh, you're an officer. Yep, because I felt like it was sort of like mentioned as in, we know you know the system. It's like, well, I'm not using the system against anyone. I'm doing what's right as a citizen, actually. Because even if I wasn't that, what I witnessed is not okay by any adult's standards who would look at that. Okay? So it's like, this makes you angry because it's like, come on. Like, no offense, but these people go home to houses, homes with backyards, okay, with gardens. We don't have a garden. And in fact, it was mentioned how, we had to put in so much garden, which is just mulch and little bushes that aren't even grown. We had to put in these garden areas per unit thing, you know, through how many apartments there are, and how many square meters of garden. It's like, it would feel like a prison if you didn't have even, and it feels like one without that. Hence why a lot of us have decorated our places. It's like, again, what? That's why my internals are so pretty, because it's like, I'm not having it. And my alfresco is so nice because it's like, I'm not having it look like that. Sorry, I don't live in a prison. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, that is, we must remember we're in a world now where, and some, it's not willful all the time, like as intentional, and sometimes it is intentional. It depends. So you should respond depending on whether it's intentional or not intentional. But I'll just say this. There is a massive divide between rich and middle class to poor. There is. There's an attitude, sentiments about it. Just, there never used to be a divide in Australia. We used to always say like, oh, the English are so like, they divide into like, you know, upper class, middle class, lower class. right? I know UK people would know that. I don't know if it's still going on, but it used to. In Australia, we never did that. It was always help the Aussie battler, meaning the people in the street that were doing it the hardest, we all used to step up and be like, oh, here you go. Yeah, sure, here's my lawnmower. Absolutely. You don't have to pay the petrol. Don't worry about it. I'm dead serious. And but that's gone. It's gone. But we get to choose what world we are. We, you. Don't let institutions, other people, whether it's a group of people or one person, don't let anyone, any group, tell you how to behave if you know it's right. If you know you're not harming yourself or others, it can't be wrong. Share. If you see someone in need, say, how can I help? Would you like some help? Do you need some help? So this is more of a heart-to-heart, but I want people to remember that we control this world. There's more of us making these daily decisions to be kind, to be cooperative, to share like a co-op. We choose that. We make that. And that's why it's so frustrating when hearers praised us to a point where I won't even go into, but, you know, given sort of status to Matt to sort of help with certain things. But basically, you know, when you get praised for helping, but not in this part, it's like, no, we're not going to stand around and let human beings be mistreated, traumatized. Not only was I first aiding, I was trauma counseling, and then I came home and I cracked. And look, the next day I woke up, I must have slept like this. I was living in a war zone, guys. I was living in a war zone. And yeah. And also, guys, don't drink when you're pregnant. Please. Please, for the sake of the children. Okay, and I'm not shaming anyone who has had that happen. There's no shame to that. Mothers admit it. You will get support. There should be no shame. But if you are making a decision now, ask these other mothers, don't, okay? And if you've got struggles with alcohol, please seek help, because it's just like any other addiction, okay? Ask for help. It is the most wonderful thing you can do for yourself, okay? And also your children if you have children, and particularly if you're pregnant. I promise you. FASD is a very serious thing. Now, sometimes, and a lot of the time, kids come out with just mild symptoms, but there are a chunk that come out with major. I'm not saying that that's what this child has. I don't know. But it's my opinion, just my observations and discussions with just someone that works in the area. I feel that that's what the child had, just my observations repetitively. And it's very, very sad to see, because it's not the child's fault, but at the same time, the child's going to have to live with that responsibility of their behaviour for the rest of their life. It's sometimes not the mum's fault, because, look, there's so many factors to why women drink, just like how men drink, okay? They just don't have to stress about being pregnant. Now, look, I find it easy to, when I was pregnant, to go, no caffeine even, no drinking. I'm not a drinker, luckily. So it's easy, but we need to stop drinking in pregnancy. You have to, if you're going to get pregnant, start consulting about how the drinking can stop, at least for the 9 months, for your child's sake. Because the lifelong damages for your child that you're going to love dearly don't go away. Okay? And that child has to live with that. And for the rest of their life. So don't do the shame thing. These women need help, deserve help like any other addicted person, because obviously they can't get off it if they can't sustain for 9 months. So they need support. Us women need to stop being so nasty to each other. Cut it out. Seriously, men don't do it. It's always like, yeah, bro. Hey, bro. Okay? So us women need to start looking out for each other. All right? Let's start talking about things. Drinking not even one glass. One glass can cause problems in that child for the rest of their life. Know that. Some doctors are full of crap. Look at medical journals and you will see I'm not lying. So, there's no shame, but do your own research, talk to people for support, and support someone. Don't shame the mother if that's happened. Support that family. Be kind, okay? And understand more about FASD, because it's something that's just out of shame, even, that even the child doesn't get the support for it. That's not cool. So if the mother's not willing to talk about it and be part of, like, you know, they shouldn't be sort of like, what's done is done, but everyone needs to work together, right? The mum collab with the people that are helping her, and the child needs to help. We need to talk about it, women, because it's a women's thing, okay? We need to talk about it. And us women need to support each other. Please. So, yeah. I'm just so relieved. So relieved. And also the decision I've made today, which never feel guilty about. Making decisions like, you know, cutting someone's income off and to give it to someone else over here because you feel like their support isn't quite available, or and that one is easy to coordinate and be available, and in a situation or whatever the needs are for that service you're asking for, whatever the best service is, go with them. And if you have to swap to one because one service is struggling, don't feel guilt, ladies, because most of us that are disabled, there's a large number of women, due to our biology is different to men, but even you men, stick up for yourself too, okay? Don't feel guilty about swapping services, guys. Same as us women. Don't feel guilty, okay? If someone's not doing their job, then why are you paying them? It's stupid, okay? Kind of sounds like my grandfather. That's stupid. That's stupid. So autistic of him. My pa kettle was so autistic, family. Jeez. Did you not? Have you not thought of it? I bet you must be watching some shows and some TV and going, I think that was Pa. Because it was. And many uncles. I'm just saying. Look at it, fam. Look at it. Autism. Anyway, in my DNA, because like when they do genetics, they do a massive consult on all your history and your current diagnosis get taken into account. And I had in my list ASD written down when they did the blood test and urine test. I think it was a urine test as well, wasn't it? Gosh, I can't even remember if I did both. But anyway, I went to the other section after the geneticist had this long meeting. I think there might have even been 2. I think there was 2 meetings. But anyway, then you get tested by blood and I think urine, but I'm not sure. But anyway, definitely blood. And it had ASD on the list. So I was like, and it was red on one side and Asperger's, which it doesn't exist anymore, but is like a milder form of autism, but it still can be quite impactful. Hence why they've joined it together as autism, because people get confused, guys. There's IDD with autism, but not everyone has the combo. Some of us do, and to different degrees have IDD. So please be careful with, don't be misled with that. There's autism is separate to IDD. They do not always come together. Some autistics are just autistics and are very intelligent, like geniuses. Okay, so, and then whether we've even got IDD, depending on the level, some of us can become almost like a savant in our special interests. Just take a look around at some that stand out, like pork chops. That's what we say in Australia, like stand out massively, right? The ones that stand out, I love pork chops. With peanut butter. Try it. It's really nice. But basically, just don't get it mixed up. IDD is separate, but does come with autism. But basically, it doesn't mean that you have to have IDD to have autism, is what I'm saying. They are separate, and a lot of YouTube and TikTokers that talk about autism are mixing it. And because they're just parents, well, I'm here to tell you, I've studied the DSM. Just know it does pair together, just like a lot of us autistics are very physically sick, and a lot of us have syndromes, genetic syndromes. I'm just saying, it's a spectrum. And some things are also coexisting, meaning coexisting conditions or comorbidities. So that's physical conditions, like my syndrome, genetic syndrome that's trying to kill me. So just know that, like, a bit of education needs to be there, because I get frustrated with autism with that, because some people feel, oh, I'm not really that autistic then, even though they're being diagnosed. And it's like, no, not everyone has IDD or developmental delays in the severe form like some of us had growing up. So it's a spectrum with autism even. So an IDD is separate. It's not synonymous. But it commonly does come with it, yes. But it's not synonymous. So just hope that helps anyway. Because people need to know that. But there's a lot of syndromes that come with autism. So genetics is leading that way. And mine is one of them. Same with the cleft. Okay? Like, that's why I got so upset with this boy on TikTok that was bullied for his cleft lip. I bawled and sobbed, and I couldn't stop, because that could have been me. There's really big prevalence. That's why I got the high palate, and I have a long, see how it's long here, right? And elongated. So anyway, I have facial features. Now, I know some of you go, I can't see it. Everyone's got different genetic looks, but there is facial features. Like my geneticist was looking right at me. Just trust me, okay? She's looking at me. Measured my head. I have microcephaly, okay? I have microcephaly. So that has a lot of issues in that. So thanks for listening, guys. This is a big disability chat. So I hope it helped some people with disability, or some carers actually, because you guys are just our people. Like, you just make our world a better place, okay? And to you good ones who are caring for us, thank you. Even if you're not my carer, thank you. Because, I'm crying again. Just know that, like, you're making a difference in someone's life, just like when you work with children. You're making a difference in our life. You're so intimately in our life, right? You get to know our families, and you sort of like, yeah, you get excited, like, knowing about our family, and you really become kind of part of our family. But yes, you're professionals, but they become part of our family, guys. And so I just want to salute you good ones that aren't even my ones. Yeah, you good ones need it. And even you parents of disability, whether you're, even if your child is an adult child, okay, I salute you. We would look after our own adult children if they were disabled. Like, you guys rock, okay? Because us with disability depend on you guys for life. As in, not like just for our lifespan, but our life depends on it. Like, life or death situations where we would be in terrible circumstances if it wasn't for you. And especially to parents when it's so much more pressure. And especially to parents of my generation who were not told their child was disabled, and you did it alone. So please, young people of disabled children who are getting some help, but I know you might not be getting enough, just remember, not so long ago, zero help was given. Even to single mums, like my mum, zero help was given. So please remember that, okay? Bye, guys. Next one will be, I'm going to do some art, okay? Because I'm still working on my portfolio. So, art. You're going to see it, okay? So look forward to that. And don't worry, it won't be the only one. Don't panic. Things have been a bit busy. It won't be the only one. I love you all, and I'll catch you later. Have a great day, great night, whatever. Bye.